Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight for Speak It Now Eat It, our opening event for Revision 2021. We are here tonight with Accidental Theatre, and we will be showcasing some incredible talent from Ireland and the UK. My name is Chloe Austin, and I am founder and creative director of Revision. Beside me is Jen, who is co-founder and co-director. Together, to be honest, we are the event managers, graphic designers, social media marketers, you name it. But with the support and love we have received from both the queer and arts community here in Northern Ireland, it makes every second of it an incredible experience. We also need to mention our dedicated supporter, Kirsten Clyde, who also goes by the name of Petrified. She is an emerging female drag queen in Belfast. Revision is running over the whole weekend. Tomorrow we have our Seeing You, Seeing Me event in Flax Art Studios, new project space, from 12 p.m. And on Sunday we have our closing event Between the Bias, which is in the Black Box, and it's our talent show. Tickets are just £10 for this event, and you can go buy online now via the link on our Instagram, Revision Festival Belfast, or you can purchase your tickets at the door on the night. Please look at Black Box's website as well for COVID details required for entry. So just a little bit about what we do. Revision Performing Arts Festival supports diverse artists and creatives who incorporate, celebrate, and or challenge performative aspects within their work. Revision has been developing over a few years, and we are so happy to be here again for our third year. Revision works to interrogate gender inequality, fight for empowerment, and address issues relating to identity, gender, mental health, and well-being. Through supporting and promoting socially engaged art practices, our goal is to move beyond gender mainstreaming and to inspire engagement and action.
For Revision 2021's programme, we're exploring narratives and ideas around the theme Halfway Out of the Dark. This is primarily related to the progress within the queer community in Northern Ireland, while also understanding there is still quite a way to go. This year, we're excited to explore and celebrate the paradox of light and dark, while challenging the ideas of illuminating hope. Seeds grow in the darkness underground. We all require time of not knowing, wandering lost in the dark. To grow, you need to travel through the darkness.
Our artists involved tonight are the amazing Michaela Nash, Sarah Ellen Lundy, David Ian Bickley and Shinyu Pai, Ruben Brown and Beth Fox. Myself and Jen will also be performing a short piece focusing on the themes within Revision this year to end this opening event.
Our first artist tonight is Michaela Nash. She is an artist and art writer from Belfast. Her writing spans hybridised and experimental art writing, which incorporates formal art criticism, prose, poetry, and personal essays into texts that add an ekphrastic layer to an artwork or exhibition. Her writing has been published in Catalyst Arts Belfast Propagate, Wolfgang Tillman's Today's the First Day, and exhibition publications with Emma Dublin and with the first RHA Young Writers Zine. She's working closely with us for the festival and will be responding to each performance with her writing. Here's Michaela to introduce her work.
Today I'll be reading two poems. The first one is Bodies of Water, that was written for Water Bodies, a Catalyst exhibition last year in August 2020. And I'll also be reading a poem called Splintered Bones, Blue Wounds, that was written around the same time last year. Okay. Bodies of Water. Your hands are paler than mine, and I can't see them when you speak. They're hidden under the edge of the screen. On the inside of your wrists, pale blue veins unravel like an open sky around your fingers, and they stretch into a sea when our palms meet. Two rivers run home. But they don't touch, and they haven't in a long time. It's the water in our breasts that keep us apart, and the clipped ellipses in your voice leave enough space to remind me of your absence. In real time with you, words are just shapes we make with our mouths, and your arms wrapped around my shoulders cover the spaces words can never fill. But here, you freeze. Pixels erase your skin, and your face becomes an empty mirror that I wait for your body to fill, for water to flood, for something to percolate between us and touch the spaces between image and flesh, silica and breath, blood, bile, intercellular fluid, a small ocean swallowed. We are bodies of water. An interlinked hydrocommons of human and non-human bodies that are connected and divided by the flow and flush of liquids that sustain us. We are two pools, two empty palms waiting at other ends of a sea that are never completely apart. The next poem is called Splintered Bones, Blue Wounds. Splintered bones, blue wounds, perpetual canon. 1. She can't heal your blue wounds, I'm sorry. I know she hurts you the most, that her words break with the same strength she uses to beat herself. You are not her reflection, but she shatters you like glass. 2. I'm sorry. She can't heal your blue wounds. She can't kiss the hollow in your chest in the hope it'll fill the porousness of your bones, their only lips. 3. I'm sorry. It's just you again, looking for gold to fuse into your bones instead of calcium. I'm sorry, but it can only be you. She can't heal your blue wounds, but she can show you how to fill them. Give you space to crush ore into liqueur, to mend you and bond you gently. You'll find strength in your gold-infused scars, and that your shards can be more beautiful than your breaks. I promise you that gold can spill from your mouth if you let it. Healing is an alchemy only you can speak.
Thank you, Michaela. Next up is Sarah Ellen Lundy, who is an experimental visual artist from South County Sligo, who also creates sonic and performative ritualistic experiences through esoteric project Dult. Her studio practice, which is preoccupied with nature, and specifically an eco-feminist perspective, operates out of her father's old taxidermy factory, where she welcomes studio visits. She has exhibited, performed, and held residencies nationally and internationally, and has an ongoing fascination with the rural realm and all of its arcane offerings. This is her video, I.
Thank you, Sarah. Our next film is by a collective, Ian David Buckley and Shin Yu Pai. They present a video poem in 5 parts. Tidal explores ideas of Buddhist karma and the possibilities for transformation. Using images of ocean tides and the metaphor of waves as unrelenting karmic forces, the lyric sequence moves through the human experience of birth, ignorance, awakening, and rebirth in a narrative in which the film's speaker emerges to reclaim her karmic destiny. A 2014 Stranger Genius Award nominee, Shin Yu Pai, is the author of 10 books of poetry. Her work has appeared in publications through the US, Japan, China, Taiwan, the United Kingdom, and Canada. David Ian Bickley is an award-winning media artist whose body of work spans primitive technologies of the 1970s to the digital cutting edge of today. His media work has been manifested as television, installation, electronic music, and video art. Here is their piece, Tidal.
In the fluid of the womb, before human life pushes outward, the memory is already etched with the residue of each past spark. In another life, I was mother. In another life, I was man. In another life, I was beggar. In another life, I was heir. In another life, I lived through war. In another life, I was betrayed. In another life, I believed in a God. In another life, I saved myself. In another life, my life was claimed by hunger. In another life, my life was stolen by disease. In another life, my life was taken by poverty. In another life, my life was ended by violence. In another life, I died childless. In another life, I died without a name. In another life, I died alone. In this being reborn, the anamnesis of action, this amnesia of our dormancy. Caught in the spiral of time, we circle swim through another lap, advance one more spoke on the amaranthine wheel. The flip turn, a reversal of direction by the swimmer, who repels against the walls of an imaginary pool, not grasping that the lines and planes of this four-sided geometry has its limits. Beyond those boundaries, open waters, limitless sea. Do human beings float owing to the notion that 60% of our bodies are made of water? If I think too hard, will I sink like a stone? If skin is the largest and most permeable organ of the body, who do I become when submerged in saline? If I experienced amnesia, would I have to learn how to crawl again? Do you prefer to be reborn as woman, dolphin, or man? Through which channel would you hope to re-enter these tears? If I wished to take hold of water's meaning, what would permit me to take that plunge? What would it mean to be self-absorbed? The ocean bulges towards the moon as wine decanted in a chalice flows over a rim. The coastal edge, a liquid boundary, the planet's flood tides guided by celestial mechanics. In the moon, the rise and fall of tidal surf. Lunar phases pull gravitational forces, bring incoming storm surges, orbital cycles of shedding. Tsunami swells like scorched earth, wash away corporeal traces of calcium, sodium, phosphate, copper, and chloride trappings. Mineral and matter discharged. Have you ever tried to bully a wave? The roar of ocean drowns out all other voices until there is nothing but the crash of brine. The shanty that we are all invited to hum. Through the corner of my eye, I see it coming. Tally the seconds before wave's next full crest. Breathe through the break. Hold the deadlock of time within the body, knowing that motion is immaterial. Ease into the place where I can pull myself upright to standing, tides undulating beneath my cadence.
So next is Ruben Brown, who is a digital artist and sculptor based in Belfast, currently in their final year at Belfast School of Art. Their practice exists as an amalgamation of digital work, mould making and installation, split into two main avenues of practice, the digital and the sculptural, with the exploration of queer identity as core motive. Whilst their physical sculptural practice pivots upon the extravagance of choice materials, their digital and video work attempt to approach identity through a conceptual sense of queer nostalgia. By depicting scenes extracted from their own formative years, alongside abstract memories and particular notions, their video work aims to establish a personal inquiry into their relationship with their queer identity. Being extremely referential in nature, both the video work and the written poetry become meticulously formulated collages of moment, feeling, and memory. Valuing healing as an artistic process, they aim to present specific challenges of growing up queer that are often difficult to verbalize. Consequently, their video work becomes manifestations of queer time, fragmented through an amalgamation of pop culture, experience, and nostalgia. So here is their video, When I Was Younger, I Had a Recurring Fantasy.
Our next artist is Beth Fox. Beth is a video artist. She tells personal stories using a combination of appropriated footage and self-shot scenes. She is interested in immigration, gender norms, food, social class, memes, post-colonialism, basketball, and abstract notions of homeland belonging. She lives and works in London. Her exhibitions include London Open 2022, Soft Focus, South Korea, and Circuit Arts Festival Galway, to name a few. The protagonist in the video is lying in bed eating chocolate biscuits and binge watching the Great British Bake Off. The bed is a stage for birth, sex, illness, and death. So here is Beth's video, My Bed, Our Tent.
Recently, you could say I've been in a bit of a slump. I've become obsessed with the Great British Bake Off. Lying in bed, letting Netflix feed me each episode one after the other like a packet of chocolate digestives.
Okay, fingers to the end of benches.
Obviously, the cakes are a big draw, but more important than that is the failure. It turns out that when you're feeling blue, it's really comforting to watch other people drop their chocolate fondants on the floor.
Oh no!
They're all so bloody good at baking, but they all get sent home in the end.
Sadly,
For one of you,
we have to announce
the journey is going to stop here. And the person is
I recommend it to a friend who has depression. I think it might make her feel better. The show fulfills our natural desire to watch other people fail.
No.
My friend will not watch it because she's Irish and has a natural aversion to anything with the words Great British in the title. They're greater in size than Brittany Bake Off. I try to convince her that it will do her good, to not let the long shadows of colonialism get in the way of a great slice of reality television. But no. Apparently there's an Irish version now. I haven't watched it though. When I was a child, my older brother used to play a trick on me. He'd flick through one of my mother's magazines and find a picture of a cake. He'd poke the picture on the page with his finger and then put it to his lips. He'd say, I have never been a competent baker. Baking is difficult, you know. Baking is hard. It requires accuracy, science, and patience, and alchemy to turn simple ingredients into something worth sharing. The last time I tried to bake a cake, I was in my final year of art school. At the time, I was researching the Italian artist Maurizio Cattelan. Known as an art world trickster, in the 90s he made a series of works characterized by tactics of avoidance and escape. An exhibition that was just an empty gallery with knotted bedsheets hanging from the window. Another where he dug a tunnel, Great Escape style, through the gallery floor. I planned to bake a Victoria sponge cake with a file hidden inside and call it Cake for Maurizio Cattelan. I thought it was a brilliant idea, but I hadn't quite worked out how I was going to convey to an audience that there was a file inside the cake. I decided to film each stage of the baking process, but the battery in the camera kept dying. I was living in a student flat and I didn't own any baking equipment. I didn't have a sieve or a weighing scales, but I remember thinking, how hard can this be? Having the oven on made the kitchen unbearably hot, and I remember my hands slippery with sweat and butter trying to change the batteries in the college camera. My cake did not rise. The layer with the file in it burned, and the whole thing weighed almost as much as me when it came out of the oven. Perhaps my appreciation for the struggles of the bakers was born that day. I fell out of love with the show a little in season 6, episode 3 though, Bread Week. The bakers were asked to create a sculpture out of bread, a real work of art. One made a bicycle, one made a lion, one made Tracy Emin's Unmade bed.
to choose something that's untidy to start with doesn't give us a good impression when we actually first look at it.
Is that 5 hours work? No, it isn't. I like the idea of this sitting on the top. I mean, you managed to get that shape out of it. The bed head is not defined enough. Let's take the side off this. It's just about baked. As you move it to the middle, it's raw. Because you've got layers of marzipan and apricots and all sorts of things going on, the heat can't penetrate into the middle. So
How could the judges not appreciate this? Tracy Himon's bed made out of bread. It kills me. Eliminated, vilified for creative thinking. I was outraged on a deeply personal level. This is exactly how I would have interpreted the brief, drawing on an actual famous pre-existing artwork for inspiration. It's ridiculous. Penalised for giving them exactly what they asked for making a real work of art.
It's judgment time.
So to close this event, I will be reciting something I wrote, and then it'll be followed by a piece that Jen wrote in response. The piece I wrote speaks about my experience coming here to Belfast in 2018. I felt that specifically the queer community was overlooked and not really respected. This is what brought me to start working on revision with Jen. So it's really about the confusion that I faced and how working on revision has helped me overcome this and allowed me to meet so many amazing people. I'm almost there, 50% maybe. I'm halfway there with you. We are almost. The time is now, but I've heard that for a while. The time has sort of stayed stock still. Itching, screeching, but somehow still. It has paused. It seems to have been moving forwards and backwards at the same time. Rewinding, fast forwarding, and in the midst of all this, I feel that the time has gotten a bit lost. I lost some time. I came here and I didn't understand the rewinding or the fast forwarding of time. I didn't know if I was moving forwards or backwards. All I knew is that I couldn't and wouldn't take another step forward in the past. I am fast forwarding. I am here and we are here together. Pushing, shoving, climbing to stay on this path, this journey. I'm rewinding. My mind has never been still. There has never been stillness, only hope. I've counted so many nights and tried to count the stars. There's always too many. Though I'll keep trying to catch the falling ones and give them the space and room they need to shine bright again. Now let me be perfectly queer. I still can't draw a straight line to this day. This narrow, restricted, straightforward path has never been an option. I'm rewinding. I'm sitting here and it's 12 a.m. and I am staring at this wonky line on this page. I wasn't made to abide to rules and constantly face limitations. Was anyone? I am fast forwarding. I am here and my family has grown to include so many different and amazing people. Regardless of my direction or of my path, I know. I'm almost there, 50% maybe. I'm halfway there with you. We are almost.
So I wrote this piece in response to Chloe's work, whilst considering the themes of this year's festival, the light and the dark, and our theme, halfway out of the dark. I'm tired. He's tired. We are. The twilight hours and sun-bathed couch slumbers. The treat that once was, the place we never go to, that I never got to. Warm glow celebrations of day to night. Effort and trialed. Practice and failing. Improvements for. My comfort in the soothing of relaxed days filled with touch. We, I. Losing the singular, creating the we. The joys in the active and the new, but sometimes old tracks. Stilled and settled, ambitiously lazy. A hand resting but ready. Balancing in each other. I'm tired. He's tired. I am.
So that is the end of our opening event, Speak It Now, Eat It. Just want to thank you all for joining us this evening, and a special shout out to Accidental Theatre, their team here, Richard, Martin and Emma, and our generous funders, Community Foundation NI.
The festival continues over the weekend, and we invite you to join us tomorrow for Seeing You, Seeing Me in Flax Studios, North Street Project Space. It starts at 12 p.m. and everyone is welcome. And then on Sunday evening at the Black Box, we have Between the Bias. Tickets are still on sale online until tomorrow at midnight. Noon. Sorry. If you miss your chance to get the tickets there and want to come along, we will be selling tickets at the door, but for cash only. Thank you so much to all of our amazing artists tonight, and thank you for joining us.
Good night.
Good night.